What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Elder Scrolls Lore, and today we're going to be talking about the city-state of Falkreath. Now, before we get into that, I'd like to make the shout out to the podcast I'm now a part of with Imperial Knowledge, HB and Kuyo of HB Productions, and occasionally Kukai. We'll have a guest every episode, every podcast, so you guys can come in, listen about lore, topics we want to discuss, community suggestions, and with that, feel free to check it out. It's on HB Productions' channel. Feel free to join the Discord chat that's in the link in the description below or in my channel header. We can talk about gaming, lore, whatever it is we want to talk about. It's easy way to get a hold of me and talk about topic suggestions and video suggestions and lore, etc. It's just a lot easier to communicate that way instead of comments and things like that. So with that being said, I'd like to say thank you for Ares for allowing me to use his music. Wow. And we're getting close to ending the city-states of Skyrim. I almost said Falkreath there, but with that being said, when that happens, we will continue on to... I don't know if we'll continue on right directly into Morrowind. We might do a couple things in between, but with that, we'll see where we go from there. And originally, I did have the... I was going to do the community recommended videos. I just had to get the video. I've been really busy this past week. I've had a lot of homework coming in from school. It's why the No Man's Sky video was late. But that being said, the No Man's Sky video will come out the day this video gets posted. It's actually Saturday. I'm recording it the day of. Like I said, I've been super busy. I got a research paper I got to do for college, and so it's been just a hell of a mess. But I was gonna get the video for the community recommended video. However, Elder Scrolls Online decided, let's have a 31 gigabyte update, so I can't really do that right now. So maybe Monday, or not Monday, Tuesday. So let's aim for Tuesday, and we'll see what goes from there. But with that, I hope you guys enjoy. Sorry for this long intro. Let's just get right into the lore now. This is the city-state of Falkreath. Falkreath is situated on the southernmost roads of Skyrim and is not far from the borders leading into the city of Elendhir in the Craglorn Wastes and the city of Bruma in the Dural Mountains. Falkreath itself is a relatively small town compared to the likes of Windhelm or Solitude. In its prime, Falkreath was a well-guarded stronghold that was able to withstand the Reachmen from the west and even the Orsimer of the besieged First Orsinium. Falkreath generally has a straight path that goes through the city from east to west, and the middle of town is vast and houses a single well in the middle of it. East of the southern gate leads up to the hill to the Jarl's Longhouse, which overlooks the rest of the city. West of the southern gate leads to the Hall of the Dead, which goes deep into the ground. There is a chamber dedicated to Falkreath's founder, Bjarfrod Skjallarmor. The city of Falkreath was founded by Bjarfrod Skjallarmor. The origins of Falkreath is widely unknown, only told through legends passed down from generation to generation. According to legend, Bjarfrod drove the dangerous beast out of the forest and chopped the trees down with ferocity. Falkreath was then founded with the trees that he had harvested. Eventually, he would be crowned the first Jarl of Falkreath after driving out the beasts and founding the city. His ancestors would rule for a very long time, even into the interregnum of the Alliance War. Now, going into the second era, where the reign of the Akaviri Potentate was prevalent, the province of Skyrim was ruled by High King Logruf, who was a close ally of Aristidus Shay, and who was unfortunately assassinated in 431 of the second era. Now, again, we can keep doing this, but at this point, it's not worth it. Logruf's daughter would be killed, or would be challenged to the throne, saying she wasn't the direct heir, or she was illegitimate, and she would lose the throne to Svatir of Solitude, and this would create East and West Skyrim, and Falkreath would join East Skyrim. No, they would join West Skyrim. I don't know why I got so confused there. I get my one. Lately, I've been not really referencing that, but I get my one. With that being said, now the province of Skyrim has been inhabited for Orsimer for several years, with strongholds ranging from the great fortress of Cradlecrush in Eastmarch to the rigid fort of Mor Khazgor in the Reach. With the siege of Orsinium in 980 of the First Era, many Orcish tribes scattered throughout the northwestern provinces, including Skyrim and the Falkreath Horde. The Orcish warrior named Yashnag Yazgro traveled with his people across the Drudnach Mountains to the forest of western Falkreath, where they would establish a chiefdom under Yashnag, and his chiefdom was a pox on the causing strife on the High King's Tyr's army and the people of Falkreath. Yashnag would eventually murder the Jarl of Falkreath during his conquest over the whole, and the Jarl's son, Hakvild, would seek out vengeance against Yashnag and would challenge him in his home and defeated him in the Battle of Bronze. Hakvild would become known as Yashnag's Slayer and would become the next Jarl of Falkreath. Yashnag's chiefdom was burned down in 467 of the Second Era. Afterwards, the Orzammar would evacuate into the Hrothgarian Mountains, and the Second Orsinium would come into creation under the leadership of Kurag Bakra. Sorry, those names are kind of hard. During the interregnum in 583 of the Second Era, the city of Falkreath was under the rule of Jarl Hugrol Skjolmor, and he coincided with the other regions in western Skyrim under the control of Jarl Svagrim, most likely of Solitude. News would spread throughout the hold about an impending invasion from the Reachmen of the west, and Hulagor would deny these rumors, which proved to be his downfall. The Dreadhorn clan would invade the city of Falkreath using the power of necromancy and sheer force of the Minotaurs. Now, the Dreadhorn clan, under the administration of Dummy House the Bloody Horned, would overwhelm the fortress city on all fronts and would even raid the Hall of the Dead. Thane Erica Skjolmor would lead the defense against the Reachmen, but the siege had dwindled their numbers considerably. It was not until a mysterious travel known as the Vestige and their band of warriors arrived was when the battle had shifted to Falkreath. Erica led the remaining survivors to the Hall of the Dead to evacuate them to a nearby settlement, ideally Dragonstar. The Vestige's entourage defeated the siege from the east by slaying Mogria Bullblood and their siege mammoth. By advancing into the central square, the group was able to kill a triad of necromancers and their hulking bone colossus named Senrunun. Don't know if I said that right. Before reaching the Hall of the Dead, Jarl Hugrol was residing in his longhouse located on the southern hill overlooking the city as it was besieged. When the Vestige and Erica arrived into the Jarl's hall, he would quickly be killed by Dummy House. The Vestige fought the Minotaur with ferocity. Dummy House was a master in both destruction and conjuration magic, utilizing the Minotaurian magma destruction magic as well as elemental Atronachs and the stone Atronach. Eventually, Dummy House was defeated and the city of Falkreath was saved. Erica Skjolmor would be named Jarl of Falkreath soon after. Now, throughout the years, the continent of Tamriel had changed. The Alliance War had gone for several years, and the power had shifted between alliances until the war ultimately gave way. The city of Falkreath was integrated into the a separate government consisting of the kings of Colovia. The once proud kings of Colovia became thief barons and formed forgotten covenants. The city of Falkreath was under the rule of King Culhane, who envisioned a united Colovia under his reign, but to do this he needed to secure the Falkreath hold border to the north, where the Nords and Reachmen always fought. Culhane amassed a massive army with his allies in Skyrim, and his prized general, Hjalti Earlybeard, leading the helm. Hjalti was a Nordic warrior from the island of Alkari in the Iliac Bay. Hjalti was a shrewd tactician and utilized an ancient art of Nordic warfare known as the Thum to burst open the impenetrable gates of Old Roldan. Hjalti would be then known as Talos and unify the continent of Tamriel under the Septim Empire as Tiber Septim. Now, during the Imperial Simulacrum in 389 to 399 of the Third Era, Uriel Septim VII was imprisoned, so on, and a piece of the Staff of Chaos would be then placed in Falkreath, where the Eternal Champion would have to go and find it. And at this time, the city was under the control of King Beld. Bjeld, I should say. There's a J in there. Now, during the Skyrim Civil War in 201 of the Fourth Era, the city of Falkreath was under the control of Jarl Siggeir, who recently inherited the throne from his uncle Denegir of Stoon. During his reign, Siggeir was aloof and had very little involvement in the politics of Falkreath. The one who was actually in charge was his steward, Nenya, who served as Denegir and the Jarls before him. Served as the steward, sorry, I messed that up. Now, Falkreath was in support of the Mede dynasty during the Civil War, much to the dismay of Denegir. The Imperial Legion under General Tullius was stationed in the Jarl's Longhouse, with Legate Skulner controlling the Falkreath chapter. Denegir is a staunch supporter of the Stormcloaks, a rebellious faction from the city of Windhelm, under the control of Ulfric Stormcloak. Denegir believed that Siggeir used his influence in the Imperial Legion to secure his role as the Jarl of Falkreath. However, Denegir has been known to be quite the loon, so this was kind of brushed off. Now with that is all we have for the City of Falkreath. I think we only have one more city after this, and that would be Riften. But with that, we're closing in. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. Again, I'm really sorry that we couldn't get the community suggested videos out there. I have 2 of them at this moment. I think 3 at this point now. I couldn't get the footage for them, for at least one of them. The one that's first, I couldn't get the footage for, so I'm going to do the one that's going first, obviously, and then I'll go on to the other ones soon after. But it's only fair that way. I can't put other community members ahead of others. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.